أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله
إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعين به ونستهديه ونستغفره ونسترشده ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فهو المهتد ومن يضلل فلن تجد له وليا مرشدا والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الخلق أجمعين سيد الأنبياء والمرسلين حبيب رب العالمين سيدنا محمد صلى الله عليه وعلى آله وصحبه ومن تبعهم بهديهم إلى يوم القيامة اللهم اجمعنا بهم واجعلنا معهم في عليين من غير سابقة عذاب ولا حساب آمين يا رب العالمين. We're going to serve in some ayat and couple of ahadith that are so much related to the topic of today. And what we're talking about, a very, very, very huge tragedy going on with our brothers and sisters in Sudan. A massacre, a tragedy, a calamity that is undermined by most people around the world and even Muslims. A calamity that is also being undermined by international media. And honestly, I don't know why. Subhanallah. Although I'm from Palestine and I always talk about Palestine, Syria, yet with all that going on, we should never forget our duty for every human soul that's being oppressed by any type of oppressor. And more specifically, when that human soul is our brother and sister in Islam. قال الله عز وجل أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم إنما المؤمنون إخوة. Indeed, people of faith are brothers in that faith. Surah Al-Hujurat. الشيطان الرجيم وإن استنصروكم في الدين فعليكم النصر. If a group of people who are oppressed have asked for your support, to be victorious for them, it's not up to you to think twice. فَعَلَيْكُمْ. It's upon you. It's your duty to support those groups who've been oppressed, who've been suffering from all type of dhul. Another ayah. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إن الله يأمر بالعدل والإحسان. Allah Azza wa Jal يأمر, order us, oblige us to secure and spread justice and ihsan, goodness. So justice not only in your own home or your own country or your own people, it is all over the world. As a Muslim, our duty is not limited to our own affairs. Our duty is to spread justice and peace in the whole world. And also, there's so many ayat, I'll choose one hadith and then inshallah speak about the topic. قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم من لم يهتم بأمر المسلمين فليس منهم. Very, very, very dangerous hadith if we will not apply it. Any Muslim who does not care or support or stand with another Muslim brother or sister, that Muslim who does that it does not belong to the Muslim Ummah. Very, very, very dangerous concept. And to be honest, if I will ask you guys to raise your hands, how much you know about what's going on in Sudan, specifically in Darfur, very few will know much. Maybe you will just say, we know that there are problems happening there. We hear about massacres going on between the government and some rebels. That is not enough. There is a big place right now, while we are gathering, are suffering from rape, hunger, digging graves and putting people alive in. Innocent civilians being massacred like none before. And honestly, some of these scenes are even more difficult than the ones we see in Gaza, and all are difficult. But it's really, really brutal. So our duty is first to know what's going on. So I will start by a small introduction, and I'll leave it up to you guys to go home and read more about it. Because I cannot give a history lesson or a geography lesson in a khutbah, but we need to understand. Darfur is an important province in the midwest of Sudan. Chad and Libya are two borders, very important borders there. And most of the people of Darfur, more than 95 to up to 100% are Muslim from Ahl Sunnah wal Jama'ah. And Darfur is known for having the most of Hafiz, mashallah, tabarakallah, of Quran. And it's very rich with gold. And it used to be a path for trade for that region. They have an issue with water, so they don't have a river passing by or a shore, so that's why they dig for water. And another issue that there are a lot of tribes with different backgrounds and origins where they had been always having issues among tribe, the tribal leaders and stuff going on. And that problem between tribes sometimes become used, in politics to, one wing or win over the other, or people, countries on the border will use that for their own agenda. Sadly, nowadays, from 3+ million people, more than half of them fled in nowhere. Some of them die just because they were running away from war and having no access to water and food. And even the humanitarian campaigns have difficult time reaching there. And there's a lot of obstacles. And as I started with, media is not covering this enough. These are human beings saying La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah, being so much abused in a very, very unimaginable way. What is our duty toward what's going on there? That's what is important. We first start to educate ourselves about it, read more about it. It's all over Facebook, internet, name it. Number one, and this is really, really important, dua. We sometimes do dua for Palestine more than we do to anything else, which is good because Palestine, Al-Bayt al-Maqdis, Al-Quds is the center of the fight between evil and good all around the world, since ever. Yet, we should not forget to make dua for those who need our dua the most. And we have to add doing dua to our brothers in Sudan, very importantly, after each salah and in your sujood. Two, financial support. We see very few organizations collecting for Sudan, but we should not wait until these organizations come and approach us. We have to look for them and make sure we to choose the best organization that supports our brothers and sisters in Sudan. I have a Sudanese friend, and he was able to send, and I see money there. It is possible. And I've seen the messages that are coming from his family and others asking for any type of support, even just bread, even just water. Honestly, it's unbelievable. The more I look into it, the more I get sick of this dunya and what's going on. But it's all imtihan from Allah Azza wa Jal, test from Allah. For them, a very difficult test. For us, it's also a test, how and what we should do. So after the dua, which is something you have to do all your life, the financial support, because Allah Azza wa Jal ask us to support the yatim and the miskin and the one in needy, and especially the ones that are not at our door. Don't wait for people who comes to the door and knock your door and ask. You look for them. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم فيا فوز المستغفرين فاستغفروا الله. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم ومما رزقناهم ينفقون. A very important ayah that's spread all around the Quran. From whatever Allah provided you, you have to do infaq. And ينفقون is a continuous verb. فعل مضارع مستمر means continue to give infaq and it will never hurt your financial status. Very important to understand our duty after doing the dua and first understanding what's going on, making dua, financial support, and also the advocacy. And this is very important. Most of us here are immigrant. Some of us are here for almost 40 years plus. But we still carry what we came from home, carry on our shoulders, that politics is not our business. That is wrong. Politics is your business. I should be part of advocacy for good. Because if we are negative, if we look at politics in a way that, oh, whatever I do, it will not affect. No, your voice matters. And specifically like things that's happening in Sudan, you know what, I'll just give you an example of a story that's not related to Sudan, but you can relate it to. I attended a great event last week in Ajax, and the speaker, Dr. Zahira, her name, she's a doctor, originally from South Africa, and she's Canadian. Now she moved to Dubai. She was one of the speakers, and she was talking about her experience because she was on one of the flotillas that went trying to break the siege on Gaza, the recent ones. Subhanallah, she called first the government of Canada, Ministry of External Affairs. telling them that I'm going to join the group that are on small boats trying to reach Gaza. And she have a Canadian passport, of course. And she told the government, can you support me if something happens to me? And the Canadian government said, no, we cannot. It's a war zone. We don't have access. We don't have influence there at all. We don't advise you to go there, but it's up to you. So she chose to go with her South African passport because there was a lot of delegation from South Africa joining those ships. Subhanallah, when they were close to the border of Gaza, as we all know, the IDF attacked them and took them to prison. Now, because she had a South African passport, she was treated so bad, very close to the Palestinian prisoners, not like the other British and Canadian and American citizens, French citizens, Italians who were there, according to her. She was beaten, she was stripped almost naked many times, 3 days no water, no food, and a lot of other torture for almost 20-something days. And during her prison, and this is the point of the story, during her imprisonment, the Canadian government used to check on her every single day. And the IDF did not allow her to meet the representative of the Canadian embassy because they told her, you did not enter here with your Canadian passport. We treat you as a South African. Now, when she was released after so much pressure, and in Jordan, she met the delegation of the Canadian embassy. She told them, I asked for your help before I traveled, and you guys have denied, and you said, no, we cannot. Why are you offering help now? Imagine what was the answer. The answer was, we have received 40+ thousands emails and phone calls from Canadian citizens pushing us, asking us to support you specifically. So we have that public pressure did work, and we kept on trying day and night to get you out from there. This is one example of so many that although politics have some agendas and some powers that we know or we don't know, yet our voices matter. Your pressure matter. Your email matter. Your phone call matters. Visiting your MP matter. Recently, they found some Canadian weapons used by the killers of Darfur and Al-Fashir. Those murderers using Canadian guns. Which means what? Our government is complicit with that, one way or another. Directly or indirectly. So we have to use the advocacy right that we have to put pressure in every MP we can. And mashallah, NCCM, Justice for All, there are two big organizations doing their part on our behalf. Go to their websites, NCCM and Justice for All. They are specialized with advocacy. And they have a lot of research, and they give papers to the parliament in Ottawa. And they did win a lot of steps to put pressure on our government. We elect them. We give them their salary because we pay taxes. Everything you buy, you pay tax on. Not just the tax you pay at the end of the year. Everything you buy, you put 13%. Almost everything you buy. That's what makes them rich. So we have a say. Maybe not 100%, but even if it is 5%, use it. So that is also very important, especially when Sudan massacre is being not well covered politically or with media. What else can we do? We have to support. Some of the refugees from Sudan have arrived already to Canada, and they have nothing. They don't speak English. They don't have a lot of skills, so we look for them maybe through these organizations, maybe through MAC Ansar as well, Mac has a department called Ansar. Check, try to find a way to help. It's our duty. And last but not least, continuously. Don't just feel, alhamdulillah, you're empowered. The khatib today was able to reach your heart and make you move. You made a couple of decisions. You go home, you find, mashallah, the beautiful dinner table with your family, and then you maybe do one thing or two couple of dua. Maybe go on a website and give 10, 20 or $100, and then tomorrow is another day. No. All the ayat we have read talks about continuity of supporting the oppressed and spreading justice, and that will make our life has a meaning. We're not created just to eat and drink and make children and go and do our jobs. That is not what Muslim family should look like. Spread the word even among your family. Talk with your wife, talk with your husband, your children about it. Encourage them to do something. The khutbah is not enough to cover what's happening in Sudan, but at least we are triggering and initiating the love of deen in your heart, in our heart, which will move us, inshallah. And with that love of your deen, with the power of Allah Azza wa Jal, with ikhlas, wallahi, you can move mountains. Mountains you can move. Never undermine your role. And I again say advocacy is very important. Many of us give donation, many of us go dua, but most of us don't do their part in spreading and pushing our governments and the politicians for the right direction. And it does work, and I gave you a life example. Before I start the dua, we have our brothers from Halifax, from masjid called Sabil, and they have, mashallah, secured a big land where they will build the biggest, mashallah, masjid in center of Halifax, with a youth center, with a madrasa, a school, Quran school, Arabic school, and a community Islamic center. Again, as Muslims, supporting other Muslims wherever they are. You support your masjid, sure. You support other masajid. You never know which support, which donation will be approved by Allah Azza wa Jal, accepted, and be the way for you to go to paradise. And I actually believe if I have $10 for donation, I put them in 10 places, that's a really winning thing. Don't just say one place is enough. Sudan, don't forget Sudan, don't forget your brothers of Sabil outside, inshallah. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم. اللهم اغفر لنا وارحمنا، اللهم اغفر لنا وارحمنا، اللهم اغفر لنا وارحمنا، اللهم ارحمنا فوق الأرض وتحت الأرض ويوم العرض عليك. اللهم اجعلنا ممن يستمعون القول فيتبعون أحسنه. اللهم اهدنا فيمن هديت، وعافنا فيمن عافيت، وتولنا فيما توليت، وبارك لنا يا ربنا فيما أعطيت، واصرف عنا برحمتك شر ما قضيت، إنك تقضي بالحق ولا يقضى عليك. اللهم اغفر تقصيرنا في حق إخواننا في السودان، وفي حق إخواننا في فلسطين، وفي حق إخواننا في سوريا، وفي حق إخواننا في كشمير، وفي حق إخواننا حيثما كانوا محتاجين لنا. اللهم قوي إيماننا، اللهم بارك في إيماننا، وبارك في أرزاقنا، وبارك في بيوتنا، وبارك في أبنائنا وبناتنا وأحفادنا وزوجاتنا وأزواجنا يا رب العالمين. اللهم بارك في هذا المسجد والقائمين عليه والمصلين فيه، وكل خير يخرج منه ويدخل عليه يا رب العالمين. إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. وأنت يا أخي أقم الصلاة.